Hello everyone and welcome to SeanBot Does. Today I'm going to be making a wooden sign for our woodworking business using the CNC machine called the X-Carve from a company named Inventables. If you've never heard of it, check it out. It's pretty awesome. They decided to start building these machines so that people at home could work on them for hobbyists or small-time businesses instead of having to pay for those giant $15,000+ machines. But in order to get started, we have to use some software to be able to develop the project. And so today we're going to be using Inventables software called Easel. It's a pretty inclusive software. It doesn't quite do everything that you're going to need if you want to get to the more intricate carves, but it does give you a really good starting point, especially if you're not an expert yet or anything like that. So let's get into it and let's get designing. So you're going to go to inventables.com and then you're going to go up to Easel, and then once you click on that it takes you over to the Easel's main page here, and then you're going to explore. At some point you're going to have to create your own account. Not too bad. I would like to say that the regular Easel software is going to be free. It allows you to do quite a bit of stuff, but if you want to be able to do the more advanced things, you're going to have to pay for Easel Pro. Now I believe that's about $155 a year, which isn't overly bad, but if you compare it to other softwares, it's kind of on par with that, but maybe not with as much functionality. I don't know yet. I haven't used other ones. I'm pretty new to the CNC game, but we're moving forward with it, so we'll see how it goes. So once you get started, especially if you buy one of their CNC machines, they will give you a 30-day Easel Pro trial version, and so that's what we're going to be using today. Once you open it up, it gives you a couple different spaces to check out. On the left hand side, that's where you're actually going to be building and designing the workpiece, and on the right hand side it's going to show you what it's supposed to look like when it's done carving. So as you can see in front of you, the name of our business is Arcadia Woodworks. You can check us out on Facebook. So far that's the only web page that we have, but we usually put up all of the projects that we make on there, so check it out, give us a like. Alright, so we're going to get started from the beginning. So down here gives you the option to open up a new window and start from fresh. And over here on the right hand side, these are going to be your settings to be able to tell the machine how big you want it, what kind of material you're going to use, and all that. So over here we're going to start out with this project. We're going to be making it out of walnut. I have quite a bit of walnut in the garage, so we're going to use that. I think it looks pretty cool, so we'll see how that goes. First time carving it, but it gives you a lot of different options of the different types of wood that you can use. Not every piece of wood is going to be in there, so you can add another one or just use something that's going to be relatively close to it. And then dimensions, width, length, and thickness. Today we are going to be making our piece 24 inches long, 12 inches high, and it's about 1 inch thick. Once you get that done, you can check over here on the bit side. Now, if you have just the regular free version, it gives you these bits right here, and then you can add other ones if you need to. But if you have the Pro version, now you can start using these 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree V-bits, as well as others that you can add in. The V-bits are pretty interesting. They give you a pretty awesome result in most cases. If you've never seen it before, check out other videos and see how it works out. But we'll post a after action review for once we get this project done. So moving forward, we're going to start out by designing what we want it to look like. I mean, obviously I've already done it, so I already know what it's going to look like, but for you guys, let's start over. So over here we've got our main piece of wood, so we want it to have a little bit of an inlay. To do that, we put in here just a regular box, and we're going to stretch it out, and we want it to be about 1 inch away from all the sides. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now to help out and make sure that everything is where it should be, you can click on the item itself that you want to manipulate. Click edit and then center to material. Looks like we were pretty much already on the money, so we're good to go there. All right, now we're going to make sure that we're going to be moving forward and figuring out what else do we want to put on it. Now because we're doing a business sign, we definitely want to put the name of the business. So we come over here to fonts, and this is going to allow you to put in whatever text you want to use, and then you have all these different types in here. Now if you have the regular free version, I don't believe that you can add new fonts. You just have to use what they have here, or create something outside of easel and then import it later. But if you do have the pro version and even a 30-day free trial, you can come up here and you can add different ones. We're not going to do that right now, but we'll just take a look at it from here. We'll do Baskerville. We like that one. All right, and then just type in whatever you have. Now you can't see it because it's about the same level as what the background is actually carving. Now you have two different options here. If you want the letters to actually stand out, then you're going to tell it over here to not cut it at all. It looks like I had some errors here. There we go. Okay. So we're going to move this up into the middle. Now, because we're telling it don't carve these letters out, it's actually going to be carving around them. So if you look over at the right-hand side, you can see it's actually raised up, which gives it a really cool kind of a 3D effect. Now, if you want to go the opposite direction, you can tell it to carve all the way down. If you go all the way to the thickness of the wood, it's actually going to cut through the other side, which can be helpful if you want to cut out actual objects in the future. We're looking to be making some pretty big welcome signs, and so what we're going to do is we're going to do multiple letters, have them be pretty big, and then cut them out all together. And as you can see, it changes on the right hand side with the depth, and then it also changes with the different bits that you use. Pretty neat. So again, two options if you want it to go in or if you want it to come out. Me personally, I like this look better, so we're going to stick with this, and let's stretch this out and make it fit the length of our interior here. So look about right. I want to make sure that the A and the S from the beginning to the end is going to be even with the other side, and to maybe make it a little bit taller. Okay, now that we have that done, we're going to center it to material. Okay, right there in the middle. So at this point, we've got our words, and we don't really want to write anything else. So what else can we do? We can bring in some images. So you go over here to this apple, and you have a whole bunch of different images to choose from. Again, if you want to use something else that easel doesn't have, you can import the SVG file. And then you can use, pretty much anything that you want. But you have to use a converter sometimes if the file itself isn't an SVG already. A good one that I have been using is Convertio. Not sure how that's pronounced, but we'll check it out later. Another easy one to do is to go to Google and then type out what kind of picture you're looking for, and then check it out as a vector. Okay, so today we're working on our woodworking sign, so we're going to be looking for woodworking pictures. Now, we can use anything that's in here. And it doesn't look like it's giving us a lot this time around for whatever reason, but for whatever reason, we are just going to use what's in here as a display. So let's do some trees. And then it gives you options. Are you going to fill it in? Meaning it's going to carve out the entire thing from the inside. Do you want to outline on the path? Do you want to outline on the outside of the path? Or do you want to outline on the inside of the path? So for this one, I think, what are we gonna do? We should try, let's try inside. Oh, we lost it. Okay. You know what? I think we completely lost them. Let's go back. Okay, so we're gonna Control Z. If you didn't know, Control Z does a undo, which is pretty helpful. And what I did here was I combined the pieces. For whatever reason, these images come out into multiple pieces so that you can move them around. You can change it up however you want, but I like it how it is. So you click on it, you go to edit, and then you hit combine. It's not here anymore because I already did it. And then we're going to center to material. Now, it kind of looks funny. It looks like it's cutting through our piece. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to bring it up a bit. So it's going to be raised, kind of like the other one, but it looks like it's still messing it up. So how about this? How about we just... How about we do this? Alright, that doesn't look too bad. Alright, so again, just like the words were telling it, don't carve this, don't carve into the image, carve around the image. And I keep messing up the background. Okay, edit, center to material. Okay. So we look over on the right hand side, you're going to see this is what the image is looking like. And it's pretty simple, but it's pretty cool. I think that's going to turn out really well. And then if you click on the simulate button, it's going to tell you what path it's going to take and how long. Now, just what we did right here is saying it's going to take 13 hours and 54 minutes. That's a long time to carve. So let's see if we can drop that down at all. All right, so here we have it carving to about a 0.4 inch depth. So let's bring that up to 1/4 inch so it's not so deep. Simulate again. All right, so now we're down to 8 hours and 39 minutes versus 14 hours. That's quite a big drop, but still almost 9 hours. That's a long time. All right, so we raised it up the background a bit, so it's not going to be carving this huge piece out too deep, because what the machine does in order to save the bits from breaking is that it actually goes slower, and it only goes down so far without having to come back to the same area and carving again as it goes down further and further. So every bit that you go down and the deeper the carve gets, the more passes it has to make. And especially it makes it a little bit harder because it has to carve out the words and the picture and everything. So over here, as it's at 0.90 inches of depth, we'll simulate that. It's going to take a long time. Yeah, 33, almost 34 hours just to carve that. All right, so we're going to bring it back up to about 0.12. With the image the way it is, it doesn't look like anything is happening, or at least not much of anything. So we're going to move it around using the left click on the mouse. And you see it actually is raised up quite a bit. So we're good to go. We'll try this out. Simulate again. I'm thinking probably going to be around the 8 hour. Oh, now we're down to 5 hours. So we're good. 5 hours is still quite a long time. How do we fix that? Yeah, we're still figuring out how to make these things work to the best of its ability, but right now it looks like this is going to take us roughly 5 hours. Maybe we can get it going faster, I'm not sure. Using a different bit can sometimes change the effect of what's going on, not only the look of it, but how long it actually takes. So yeah, we changed from a 1/8 inch bit to a 60-degree V bit, and now we're at almost 13 hours. So we're going to change back to that 1/8 inch single flute. Yeah, and we'll go from here. We can stand without the machine for about 5 hours and let it do its thing. So alright guys, that's a pretty easy setup for this kind of a situation. So if you got a business, or if you're just looking to make a sign at home for whatever reason, it's pretty simple. The software is not bad at all, especially for beginners. If you get out there and you're going to try those upper level softwares that different companies have made, it's going to take a little bit more. There's quite a bit of a learning curve in figuring out how it all works. So if you're just getting into CNC work, stick with it. I know that it took me a long time to begin with, trying to figure out how to get things to operate overall, but it's worth it in the end. You get to do some really cool stuff, and Easel is a really good program for beginners to get there and to be able to make some money if that's what you're looking to do. So check it out, and then from here we'll do another video on the actual carve itself. So stay tuned. This is Sean Bot saying good night.